All right, I'm here at the Warsaw train station about to depart Warsaw for Krakow, and I wanted to give you this story about this small altercation that happened, and I think it's a good idea to come here either with a translation app or basically don't rely too much on the train attendants. Because this was a bit of a mess. So what happened was I bought a train ticket online to get there. I'm at the main Warsaw train station. And I don't speak Polish, so I go on the first floor up above. They have this like service desk where you can get a ticket and then ask a question for the service people. Now the lady there, she said she spoke some English. Turns out it was not good. So I showed her my ticket. She didn't even want to look at it. She just asked me what's the time of the train and where are you going. So I tell her 1310 Krakow. Now I think she misunderstood this, and if she had checked the ticket with the actual train letters and numbers, each train has an individual string, the whole thing could have been maybe cleared up, but she didn't. Turns out she didn't speak English well, and at the time I thought she did. So she told me back 1400 in 10 minutes, platform 3. So that means she said 2 p.m. She said 1400 and then 2 p.m. So then I'm down here waiting. I'm looking at the board because there's a public board that displays the times, and I'm looking. I'm way early, and there's no train for that time and that location popping up. So then I'm checking, and then there's like one that pops up for 1410, but it doesn't have the same train ticket code as my ticket number. Now this is where my neuroticism, which usually works against me because I worry too much, actually helped out. I decided, after thinking about it, I'm going to go back to the train service line. There's no line there. The attendants are basically free most of the time. And, just confirm this is the right train. Because I also saw 2 earlier trains, also different ticket IDs, earlier that day that I could also potentially board. They're also going to Krakow. So I go there, and she's just like immediately, like very quickly, gets kind of frustrated and upset about me, like I'm doing something wrong, and just kind of very upset that I'm like wasting her time. That's the attitude. And she's just like fussing about it. And basically I say to her, like, I see these trains at different times and I list the times. Can I get on any of these trains? Or is this the train that I need to get on? And she's just confused, but she tries to hide it and acts like she can speak English and speak English well, but it's just kind of disrespectful to me, honestly. Like, it's a simple, basic question, and sure, I could learn Polish, but like, we can work through this together. But she's already flustered and like, oh my gosh, like, how dare you ask me this? Just repeating over, and she was basically repeating over and over again, this is your train, get on it. And she's saying all this stuff in Polish, and essentially saying that, like, is this is your train, right? And no, you can't get on any others, this is the one. And she points to this one on the computer, and it's for the wrong time. It's like 14:35, and I'm like, no, my train on my ticket says 13:10. I understand there's delays, but like the digits don't match up with the ticket ID. And then she says, you said, and by the way, once again, I try and show her my phone with the actual ticket and ticket ID. She refuses to, not refuses, but she doesn't look at it in depth. Instead, she's like asking me, like, it's either like she doesn't want to read it because she's older and has bad vision, or she's lazy, or she wants to like communicate with words when she could actually look at the ticket. And so she's asking me again, which leads to more language barrier misinterpretation. But she's asking me again, like, your train is at 14:30, right? And I'm like, no, you told me 1400 at first, but my actual train's at 13:10. She pauses for a while, pulls it up on the computer and points to it, and I'm like, no, and it's not 14 anything, it's 13:10. And I enunciate because maybe she misheard the first time I talked to her, but now I'm back like 20 minutes later, and she says, and I say 13:10, and I point to the right one. She still doesn't get it. I pull it up on my ticket, I zoom in, and I show it to her, and honestly, it's not really a big deal. I don't think I'm being confrontational. I think I'm generally a pretty chill, agreeable persona. She's getting extremely flustered, like I'm wasting her time and just repeating herself. And now she's pointing to a new time. You need to get on the 13:10 train, and just like repeating herself, really flustered. Which is also funny because like there's no one there after her. It's not like the DMV in the US where there's 100 people waiting in line after. There's actual deadlines to hit and people waiting after, and there's literally like 0 people there in line after me. So she has all the time in the world to just relax and do this. But like, I'm not gonna let it fluster me. Like, it's not a big deal at the end of the day. This is more on her than me, like her general mindset. But I just thought the service to be quite subpar. I'm probably going to leave a poor review on the Google Maps review. And so then she's complaining to another person in Polish. And by the way, most Polish people are very nice and friendly, but this one, I don't know what it was. She didn't like her job or something, or just like was entitled. Like, felt like the customer can't waste like a bit of her time. And then she starts saying that like you have the cheapest ticket and all this stuff, almost like condescending. I don't know why should I pay for a first class ticket when I'm just taking a 3-hour train ride. Anyhow, she's talking to her Polish friend. The other Polish coworker, she's much more chill and friendly. So she's on the board. She points to 13:10, and I look at it and I'm like, okay, but that has a different destination attached. That's the issue I was trying to tell this first one. And it's a different location, word claw, I believe. But she says that I think she says in a kind of bad English way, so I don't know if it's fully what she meant, but through inference, I think she's saying that this also passes through Krakow. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's what she meant. And then I kind of explained to her this was a language barrier misinterpretation. The first time I went to her, she did not tell me to get on the 13:10, otherwise known as 1:10 p.m. train. She told me to get on a 2 p.m. train. So this was a language barrier. There's no need for her to get fussed. I don't know if she understood. She kind of just nodded in a more pleasant way. And I just kind of let out a "ah," and then I just to kind of indicate that it was a misunderstanding, and now I understood. And then as I walked out, I looked at him again, and I looked at both of them again. And I said, "No need to get into a fuss. It was a misunderstanding." So that was it. Rather strange, and I think at the end of the day, I think you see this in the U.S. too, when it comes to driving and cars and traffic, but I think it's human nature for the average person to get really flustered and angry and upset and drag other people into it of minuscule stuff that in the grand scheme of things doesn't make sense. This woman literally is sitting there for hours with nothing to do, twiddling her thumbs, because there's not many people in line after her. It's usually an empty place. But because there was a misunderstanding of a language barrier, she got easily flustered and upset and tried to drag me into it. Unnecessary. Guys, life is life is chill, life is relaxed. No need to get so upset with people and try and ruin other people's day. But we figured it out, and hopefully I'll be on the right train.